Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about the recent video that I saw on the social media. This in regards to the statement made by the Indonesian commander in charge of the operations in West Papua. So this in regards to the Papuan man that was tortured by the Indonesian military up in the highlands of West Papua, and later he passed away. So there was a video about the Indonesian TNI Commander who made an official apology to the victim and also to his family. So we, the people of West Papua, we do not accept any apology from Indonesian government, especially the Indonesian military and police, because we know that they're going to repeat the same situation again. So it's not new. Every time they make an apology, the next day or the next month, they repeat the same, brutality again. So we don't accept any apology from the Indonesian commander or TNI commander, the one in charge of the operations in West Papua. We know that this is the cycle of violence that has been going on for many years. They kept on saying, giving all these apologies, but in reality, they kept on repeating the same mistakes over and over again. So we do not accept the apology from the Indonesian TNI commander, the one in charge of the operations in West Papua. We don't accept your apology, and we want an investigation by the United Nations officials to visit West Papua immediately and make an assessment of the country and report all this information back to UN General Assembly. Because since Indonesia invaded and annexed territory of West Papua, there is no proper assessment by UN where they can come into the country and do and write a report about the situation in the country. So all these years, Indonesian government through the diplomats based in America and Geneva has been lying to the world leaders about the true situation or the current situation in West Papua. They go and lie in front of the world leaders and saying that there is no human rights violations happening in West Papua. So recently, I saw a video as well about the same guy, the Indonesian commander, made a statement telling everyone that the issue of West Papua is closed. There is no talk about decolonization, and he mentioned about the issue of West Papua is final. So I saw the video and I was just laughing because the way he talked, as if he basically doesn't know what he's actually saying. So the issue with Papua is still final. As we all know, the 1969 referendum was done in not using the international standard of voting. It's done illegally. It's fraud, where Indonesian government violated the international law in conducting a sham referendum in West Papua. So we, the people of West Papua, still demand for a proper referendum to be held. But in this case, we want the Indonesian government to recognize the sovereignty of the West Papuan people and return back our territory, our nation back to our people so we can run our own countries the way we want. Again, like the video that we saw recently by the Indonesian TNI commander, giving a speech about his apology to the victim and his family. As I've watched the video, I've just felt anger because this is not the first time, they kept on saying these apologies and they kept on repeating the same mistake. They kept on killing the Papuans. And what we want now is for United Nations to immediately come into the country and make an urgent assessment and do a report back to UN because West Papuan people do that We have that right under international law, the right to self-determination, and Indonesian government cannot deny that. So, Indonesian government cannot lie. As I've always said, like this is not like 30 or 40 years ago. The world has changed, and our people have access to sophisticated phones, and they're able to upload the stories and videos about what's happening in the country in West Papua itself. So, Indonesian government cannot lie to the international community. So the recent report about this Papuan man being tortured and butchered by the Indonesian military up in the highlands of West Papua goes to show the cycle of violence that have gone for many years. Those people or the perpetrators haven't been held accountable for their crimes. And from what we've seen is that those people that committed crime in West Papua have been promoted to to senior ranks, and they have never been held accountable for these crimes. So, we want to appeal to UN to continue on to put the pressure on the Indonesian government to open it access for UN leaders, UN officials to come into West Papua so that they can really investigate the situation in the country. Because right now in West Papua, there's massive displacement or internally displaced refugees. Since 2018, after the incident up in Induga, there's over 60,000 to 100,000 indigenous Papuans being displaced internally. So this is a situation where UN or world leaders cannot ignore. We would want the International Red Cross and International Aid Organization to come into the country so that they can look, assist those traumatized, internally displaced people, IDPs. So. Once again, I'm just going to briefly talk about as well, the creation of these new provinces. So from the recent videos that we have seen now, Papuans are coming out in large numbers and posting these videos on the social media, saying that the impact of this creation of these new provinces has resulted in massive influx of people moving into the country, and they taking up jobs that are, they are meant for Papuans because the region is under a special autonomy. So we expect the Papuans to be given the priority, But in this case, there are people from outside of Papua. They're coming in, and they're already taking these jobs that they are supposed to go to the indigenous Papuans. And there was a video that I read as well. So I saw in the reports I read as well about Papuans, some Papuans that have worked as casuals for many years, and they haven't been given that permanent role in the government. And for some unknown reasons, there are people, Indonesians, coming into the country, and they're immediately given those permanent government roles. And this is serious because you're talking about a region that is currently under special autonomy, being extended again for further 20 years. And Papuans basically are not given the opportunity. So we are extremely concerned that the Indonesian government is not respecting the rights of the indigenous Papuans. And basically all the rights of indigenous Papuans are not being respected. And they have been killed, they've been harassed, their land has been stolen, and their resources stolen. And basically, all the rights that are supposed to be protected under the special autonomy law is being abused and is suppressed by the Indonesian government. And, it's just, all this lip saying about, this creation of these new provinces and, we're going to bring the developments. And in reality, the country itself is being swamped by massive influx of migrants moving in. And it's creating another big problem again in West Papua. It's having a huge impact on the education system, the health system, because you have large, massive people moving into West Papua. So it has a big impact on the livelihood of the indigenous Papuans. So Once again, I'm just going to mention again, we, the people of West Papua, do not accept that apology from the Indonesian commander or the TNI commander, because it's full of lies. Because we know that they will continue these violations and brutality against the West Papuan people. And the recent report that we have seen in UN, the recent UN special committee hearing on West Papua has given mentioned some serious issues. Concerns the Indonesian government need to take into consideration, and I believe that they've given them another 2 years, or I think 3 years. So by 24th of March 2027, Indonesian government will be called again to come and present the report on West Papua. So we don't expect the human rights situation in West Papua to improve, because we all know that Indonesian government, for over 60 years or 62 years since it invaded and annexed West Papua, it has killed over 500,000 indigenous West Papuans. So we don't expect the human rights situation in West Papua to improve, because it's gonna go from it's worsened right now. You have massive influx of people moving in, and it is ongoing Indonesian military operations up in the highlands of West Papua, and this has resulted in displacement of people. People are literally living in fear. They get scared to go to the gardens, and it sort of affect their daily livelihood. We want to remind the world leaders again, please do not listen to all the excuses from the Indonesian government, because they've lied all these years. And up until now, since 2014, UN requested for an access to visit West Papua. They have not given the access for UN to come and visit the country. So we want to remind our world leaders that please do not be fooled by what Indonesia is presenting to you, because these are all lies. In reality, the human rights situation in West Papua has gone from bad to worse. So, and also, I just want to mention again, we do not accept that apology from the Indonesian military commander in regards to the Papuan man that was tortured by the Indonesian military up in the highlands of West Papua, and as a result, he has passed away. So, what's his apology for? We all know for sure that Indonesian military police will repeat the same mistakes again. So, there's no reason why. What's the whole purpose of coming and saying another apology? Apologies after apologies, and nothing has really changed in West Papua. So we do not accept that apology from the Indonesian government. So once again, thank you for watching my video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.